ما
Okay. Alright, we're gonna Tokyo drift this bitch today. You're gonna see some sort of out of time stuff because this is in the middle of another video that we're working on. So, I'm Hobbs and you're watching HMods. I keep forgetting stuff and then whatever.
Hey everyone, I moved my merch store from that website that shall not be named that screwed my couple orders up to Fourth Wall. Check this out. With all new stuff, well, I mean some of the old stuff which you liked, but now this new shirt, the 8-bit console retro shirt that resembles another thing that shall not be named because I don't want to get copy strike. Copy strike? What the hell? What the f***? So yeah, go check out the new stuff. It feels good. I'm wearing one right now and it feels great. So yeah, buy my shit.
I'm a little out of breath. Don't mind the hand. I punched the door, so it's a black and blue in a little bit, and taped my fingers. I'm good.
Right.
In the last week, you saw maybe a 40-second video, and that is because there's a lot going on. A lot of it's sort of contiguous, and I want it to be part of the same video. That's what I was working on up until very recently. And by recently, I mean 2 days ago. I f***ed up my hand yesterday, so I didn't do anything. The week before that, though. Oh, no, wait, it was last week, wasn't it? You guys saw some stuff. The assembly and the turning on of the base. Pretty f***ing nifty. So much other stuff. And the speakers and the aerials got a lot done last week. So anyway, here's why it's out of time. One, I started the long night, and it did it a little bit prematurely. The long night, for those of you who don't know, is what I call the bit of the whole series where it's like all the stuff just sort of going in, and that's all the stuff. It's just a big montage. Anyway, with every build, we have the long night. And I started it, and I realized there's a whole lot of other shit that I have to get done. And one of them is what we're going to do today. And that is, in the computer case, there's a space in front of these things, which, like, it looks fine, but I don't like it. And so what I'm going to do is also, in the back of it, here's the stage right, here's the stage thing. And so in front of this, there's space. And in back of this, there's even more space. I want to put something in front of this, not only to prevent you from seeing this bit, because all this is just recycled metal from the case itself. This was all the dividers and shit for, you know, like the disk drives and whatever. This is all just the dividers that you'd put in there. So I just recycled it and made it into a stage. But I didn't cut these out, and that's because they can stand on their own, which is fine. But they're unsightly. So I'm going to cut a piece of polycarb to go across the front of the case, front of the stage. The first purpose is it'll block this unseemliness of it. Also, don't mind the air conditioning. It's 100 degrees outside. Which means it's fucking freezing down here because the air conditioners be going all fucking day! Literally, I'm wearing 2 hoodies. This one's got no sleeves, but I 80'd it. It looks really cool. It will cover up this unsightly frontness, but also, with this, it will go in here like that, and in front of it's, you know, kind of a little bit of more space than I need it to be, and so it's going to stand this up, and I'm going to do the same thing with the back. So there's these things that, you know, that you put on your M.2 heat sinks. They're basically just light up heat sinks. That's all it is. But the cool thing about these ones are they mirror they match the fan mirrors on the side, which by the way sucks ass. I I had them imported from China, and you're not going to be able to see the mirror effect unless you open the door. Whatever. I'm a little disappointed. Stood up by the thing while also adding a bit of structural integrity because I'm going to glue it to it. And or maybe I'll just like magnet it to it. I love magnets. I love having so many kinds of magnets in the house. They work so much for this shit. I'll tell you one thing. I am dreading the top grill. I sort of kicked my own ass with this because it's a thing for us now. And so I need to make it. I haven't yet decided it on how I'm going to make it. So, yeah. It's down to cutting out polycarb and making it look all sick and stuff. And then it's also down to sheet metal, which I don't want to do because it gets like jagged. But it also looks really cool and it would match the metal of the case. The other option that I really, really wanted to do was cut a like a mold with wood and stuff and pour some resin. There is a lot involved with that. And I can't really figure out how to do it, which is why I haven't gotten to it yet. That's one of the things. It's like it made me pause a long night because I realized that I have to get this done in order to finish the fucking build. So I'm gonna do this and then work my way into something like what you were talking about with just amalgamation of stuff in order to make it all work. Maybe a mix of all three. Who fucking knows? The point is I've been dreading to do it because I don't yet know how I'm going to do it. But I have to come to a decision, and I have to come to a decision in this video. So let's get to it. We actually have a whole lot of this stuff regularly in the house because I use it for so many different things. By the way, much better than Plexi. The only downside is if you use it on a heat gun, it is incredibly difficult to bend. I found that on the very first build I did, which was for my old computer, the Commander. Yeah, if you're gonna bend it, use Plexi. It's flimsy as hell, but you can bend it. And then just bolster it. I need it to be a little less than 2 inches. Damn, that's really good. So from stem to stern, it's 2 inches exactly where I want it to end. And then I guess, the Plexi covered it, which made it a little higher. Which, now that I see that, because I initially measured this, I measured the rose height to this. But I measured it before I poured the resin. So now it's just under 2¼ inches high. And since I put foam underneath the fucking rose, it's just as high now. These lucky accidents. I filmed an entire talking video that you guys are going to see. Or maybe you did see it. Maybe I just was a dick and I threw that in between this and that. I filmed an entire talking video, and version 1 had me like this. Stupid. I don't know how the hell... Oh, I don't remember how it happened. It was stupid. I let the camera go off, and then I forgot to re-zoom it out when I turned it back on. Mero Biba.
Mero Biba.
I'm glad I'm finally getting some use out of my old materials. I've been getting a lot of use out of this stuff for just this build. I'm gonna have a lot of... Okay, I'm good. Now I need the bandsaw. think what I'm gonna do instead of using this as a stand, I think what I'm gonna do is just like, I didn't want to do this to begin with, but I think what I'll just do is cut a couple of pieces of something, plexi. I'll cut a couple of 2-inch bits of plexi and then just put it around the stand so that it just stands on its own. Because this, if I have to glue this to it, it's all gonna be one piece, and I don't want that.
スピーカーが悲鳴を上げ電子レンジが鳴りケトルが叫び走る風船は爆発しベースラインは地響きのようになり勝利の声が上がるけど全部音にかき消される新世がクレッシェンドしネオンが輝き正気が吹き上がる俺はポーズを決めるモンタージュは完了目標は目的まだ聞こえないでもまあ最高ね Alright!
Fucking awesome. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Oh. So what I need to do now is I just need to cut this down to size. I need to cut about 2 inches off of here. You know, now that I've got this done, I think my original idea was just to adhere it to the inside of the case. I don't know if I want to do that though. Maybe I'll just use a couple of command strips to get it in there. In front of me is the task to do the back of the stage, not the backstage area, sort of downstage. So front stage. Let me hip you to some knowledge here. So okay. So like here's the stage, right? You know, guitar player, whatever, drummer in the back, and then whatever over here. So this is upstage. This is a spec. This is downstage. I don't know if that's the technical term for it, but that's what I'm calling it. Stage left, stage right. It's not stage left, stage right. It's stage left, stage right. The way you're seeing it. Behind this particular area, there's still a good 2 fucking inches. So I have to build something for that. So behind here, on this side of the stage, I've got a ½ inch less over here where the res is mounted, because of the part that I put in. But behind that, I mean, I have all this space all the way to the edge of the case. Yeah, just over 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches by 8.5 times 2. Here they are. They are nothing special. I don't even know what the brand is. Infinity? No, it's Chinese, and I don't read Chinese as well as I speak it. Suffice it to say, what this thing is supposed to do is not what we're going to use it for. The idea is to sort of give it, because she uses a lot of light, Otto does. She uses a lot of lights. And having played on some seriously kick-ass stages, it's just super cool when venues go above and beyond to make their or you know, tour groups when they go above and beyond to. One of the coolest I've ever seen was Five Finger Death Punch. Played with them a long time ago. Toured with them twice. Twice? No, I toured with them once, and then I played with them a bunch of other times. Not the most notable was the American Capitalist tour. They had so much going on. It was so cool. And it was all the sponsors and stuff. And everybody was like, man, fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. They're fucking sellouts. And I'm like, you guys don't get the joke, do you? Like, it was ironic. And here's the thing about metal fans. Half the time, the fans of the bands, especially today, half the time the fans of the bands don't get the bands. They just don't. They don't get them. And I am sorry, some of y'all come up with some weird shit. I heard some weird stories in my day. I also heard that one day I stabbed one of my girlfriends to keep her from getting pregnant. That's the shit that happens with me. People thought American Capitalist was them selling out. I think it was one of their best albums. Everything after is a little less. I understand though that they're just a hard rock band. I get it. You know, that's where the real money is in mainstream rock. I get it. So, the shows. Any good, really good tour, and I'm talking to the local bands right here. I'm just gonna fucking say it. Especially the ones in the Midwest. Get with the fucking times, people! The Midwest, and I love my scene. Or at least I did. The scene is completely fucking dead now. I haven't seen a major show at this place here called The Rave. I haven't seen a major show there since the last time I played there. Every other, like, you don't see local bands either playing at the Rave or renting the Rave. And also, you don't see local bands doing much of anything anymore since COVID. Nobody plays shows, nobody puts out the flyers, nobody does the legwork, nobody gets the real shows going, which is the all-ages shows. Y'all should be playing some fucking American Legion halls and getting the kids, because the kids are the ones who buy the fucking merch! And then they wear it to school the next day and they tell their friends about the concert they just saw. You don't talk to people about the fucking concert you saw the night before at work. You don't. You talk about how much your back fucking hurts, how much you hate your boss, and how much you didn't want to be there. And how much you didn't get any sleep last night. That's an adult life. Kids, they buy all your shit and then they take it to school and show their friends. Play more all-ages shows, you fucks. Anyway, what I was getting at is that bands that are not signed, or at least bands that are like signed to smaller labels, y'all need to start trying. Because lights and performance, unless you're a shoegaze band, yabba jabba the ball. I've seen so many good bands just fucking tear it up. But there are so many more that get up on stage, wrinkly fucking shirt, and just start... You're boring. You're boring. And if that's your goal, fine. But don't call yourself a metal band if you're just gonna get up there and noodle. Like, if you're not performing, nobody wants to see you. Nobody wants to see you. And secondly, if you're not performing in public, nobody's gonna see you. I have yelled at my friend's band so many times, like, dude, why are you playing these shit fucking shows? They stop playing bar shows. If you're not a Pantera band, stop playing bar shows. Like, oh god, the big four: Pantera, Slayer, Megadeth, and Metallica. First of all, their entire fan bases... Anyway, back to my point. Lights and performance is what makes a show. So that's what we are doing. I'm going to take 4 of these. And I'm going to place them along the stage in sort of a backstage manner. Oh god, that's going to be so cool! Now, we're not using the heat sinks at all. The M.2s that we're using are actually just mounted to the motherboard. A lot of that. Oh god, there's so much drives in this. I hate having to like shit on the bands that I'm around, because it's like I say it all the time. Matter of fact, I just made a post about this the other day in the local metal group, because I still try to help people. And I said, and I say this all the time too, is why aren't you guys getting a bunch of stuff together and streaming on Twitch? If you're not... I'm a musician. I can't help but be a goddamn snob, because I was a musician in my legendary, in my own mind, Observe. And Observe. And Observe. I liked to perform. Oh God, I love performing. I get so into it. I'm sweating buckets by the end of the first verse, and I fucking loved it, man. I miss it so much. Man, it was so much fun. And so many bands looked up to us, and then they did nothing with that inspiration. Nothing. And it sucked. And I really, really like seeing people succeed. It just did. Anyway, we're going to be making this rear stage thing with these 4 lights. We're not going to be using the actual purpose. We're not going to be using these as heat sinks at all. We're just going to be plugging them into ARGB hub, and that's it. They're just going to look really cool. But I want to have like a riser back here. All right, so I'm stewing on something, and until that's solved, I need something else to do, which is taking apart a $4,400 graphics card. Every single time I even think about this thing, I smile, I laugh nervously. The interesting thing about this GPU is that it already has a water cooling system on it. It's an AIO, and it's a hybrid. So what that means is it's being cooled by air, by fans, and by water. Obviously, the client wanted a water cooling loop, as you know. And so in order to do that, I have to take what's already on here. I have to take it off and put this vector water block in. And so that's what I'm going to do now, nervously. Ooh, this is the first time I'm seeing it. That's cool. That's a good joke. This is quite beefy. Why the f does he want me to... Oh my gosh. Oh wow, hey, there's fans already on it. Wow. You know, it's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, like, massive. And it's not. Interesting. Okay, well. That means I have more space than I thought I did. And that's cool. Another temperature joke. I am about to void the warranty of a $4,400 graphics card. What the fuck? Methinks they made this so that you couldn't take it off. Oh, it's moving. Oh, that makes me feel... I thought I stripped it. Big long screw. Oh God. This is another $4,400 screw. Ah. Now what's coming off with this? Nothing. Is just this the casing? Is there anything on here? Wow. Oh wow, that's cool looking. Oh man. Oh my god. I'm not even kidding. This is how freaking nervous I am, guys. Okay. That's a sunken screw, so the... Alright, there's the voided warranty. Hey, there we go. And that's a GPU. That's a $44,000... That's a $4,000 GPU right there. This is gonna be pretty. I don't need this anymore though. Careful. I'm listening to Static X. It's wonderful music. Shame what happened to Wayne Static, but drugs will do that.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs.
First thing I have to do is remove the thermal paste, which means I have to find my alcohol bottle. Now you don't have to, if you're using alcohol, first of all, use 99%, or anything above 90% is gonna be good for you. And you don't really need to worry about damaging any of the stuff because it evaporates very quickly. You want to get all of it off. You want to get all of it off the lid. because this stuff, you don't know how old it is. You don't know who put it on. You don't know what kind it is. And then if you have one of these, this is from my iFixit kit. It's basically just a little spudger, and it's really flimsy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this, and I'm just going to go ahead and peel it up. Don't worry about it. Try not to damage anything, but understand that this stuff's meant to come off, so it's not going to take a whole lot. Just go along the side here, watch it come right up. There we go. That's nice. I am so being gentle with this. Oh my gosh. I am just picking it up. I am not moving it if I don't have to. Just picking it up so that it doesn't scrape against the plastic, even though the plastic is polycarb, it is not scratched. Sometimes you'll get thermal pads with whatever you're getting, and hey, look at that. And you want to use the same diameter or the same thickness as what they say, because otherwise you can bend your GPU, and that's bad. Oh, look at that, it's pretty. Okay. Oh, I have to take it off and then put it back on. So we're taking this apart. They gave us extra screws and extra spacers just in case. Very cool. I have to say, as far as, sanctioned companies, as far as companies that have been cut off from the United States, EK does do, good work. And it's nice that they also included all the screws that you would need for the 5090 otherwise. In case you lose all this stuff. Oh, goy. That's not all the way. I was talking to Evie today, and I said that I am pretty well convinced that we're done with the supply buying stuff. So I'm happy about that. Where is this going to go in? How cool was the Queen of the Damned? Okay. I'm listening to Cold by Static X, and let me just say, how cool was Queen of the Damned? For those of you who are not familiar with the movie, it is one of the the Lestat movies. If you've ever read Anne Rice, the Lestat books, she does good stuff. Did good stuff? Is she alive still? Queen of the Damned was about a vampire living in the modern age, bored with life, and basically just wanted to die because he was sick of immortality. Now, is that going to bend it? I don't think so. I think we're good. And I got it through the spacers. There we go. That's better. See? It's all straight. But I fucking forgot to put the freaking CPU block back on. Or the bracket. Oh my gosh, I'm just all over the place today. But at least this time it's only 2 screws. Alright, now I'm gonna get this right for fuck's sakes. I'd wager to guess we've been filming for about 45 minutes just for this one thing. And I'm talking about since I actually got the GPU off the block. Let's check. I was wrong, it's 52. God damn it, man. Let's go ahead and just lean it against me, so that way it doesn't fucking fall off and... yeah. While I'm happy with what I've been doing, this is still a very, very expensive GPU. Done! See you next week.